guys. So the reason I'm here is because I have a disease called alcoholism. I'm also alcoholic. I have become allergic to alcohol. I can never ever drink alcohol successfully again. The reason I became allergic to alcohol is because I have a disease called alcoholism that constantly puts me in a state of restless, irritable, and discontentedness. And when I am in enough emotional pain, I need some medication to treat that, and I'm very good at self-diagnosing and self-treating my alcoholism, and alcohol happens to be the best over-the-counter drug to treat my alcohol. So I drank alcohol, and I treated my disease. I don't know when I crossed the line and it became a disease and it needed a treatment. I don't know anything about that. All I know is that I did that, and then at some point I crossed the line again, and the treatment for my disease, I became allergic to it, and so it stopped working. But I continued trying the medicine over and over and over again to treat what was wrong with me, but it doesn't work anymore. And I've had repeated attempts at trying to make the medicine work again, and it doesn't work. And I've heard many stories of other people who have tried to use alcohol as a medicine again to treat what their mind is telling them to treat their disease, and they have come back and reported that it doesn't work. So there's no more good times left for me drinking, but I have a disease that needs a treatment, and I find myself in Alcoholics Anonymous, and I think I'm here to stop drinking. I think the name of the game is not drinking, and I think if I'm going to meetings and I'm not drinking and the craving's been removed, that I'm doing the 12 steps, and my experience isn't that way. I went to a lot of meetings in the beginning. I went to a lot of meetings. I didn't drink. The cravings were removed at about 6 months. And at a year and a half of sobriety, I started thinking about suicide because the thrill of being sober had worn off, and the pain of living with alcoholism without a treatment was getting severe. And the things that we talk about in this meeting is it applies to everybody, but it takes a little time in AA to become aware of the idea that not drinking isn't going to fix you. Because when you stop drinking, initially when I stopped drinking, everything got good. It did get good. I had better relationships with people. I wasn't getting into fights. I wasn't crashing cars. I wasn't losing jobs. And I had money in the bank. And things got really good when I first stopped drinking. So it seems like not drinking is the name of the game. But as time wears on, not drinking is very, very challenging because of the mind. I have an unsatisfiable, fault-finding, opinionated mind, and it's always in a hurry, and it's easily frustrated, and it can't stand the word no. And that's what's going on inside of me. So in the first step, it says that I admit I'm powerless over alcohol, and that my life has become unmanageable. And now I'm not drinking, and my outside life seems a lot more manageable. I'm showing up for work. I'm making my bed. I'm getting along with people better. I'm paying my rent. It seems more manageable. But the life that they're talking about is not my outside life. The life that's become unmanageable is my inner life, my thought life. I cannot manage my thoughts. And so my mind talks to me, and it talks to me in my own voice, and it talks to me with authority. And it tells me things, and I believe it. And I cannot manage it. And it goes wherever it wants, and it talks about whatever it wants. And it's unsatisfiable, and it's fault-finding, and it's opinionated. So I get on the tube, and somebody's standing too close to me, and my mind starts talking to me. Why is that guy standing so close to me? Why doesn't he move over? I wish he'd move over. And then I start getting aggressive in my mind. In my mind, I'm pushing him, I'm hitting him in the head, I'm thinking terrible things about this person and his family and why he's standing so close to me. Now, I'm not doing anything on the outside. I might even be smiling and nodding and looking around like I'm a normal person, but inside I want to kill this guy because he's standing too close to me. And that would be okay, except for then I get off the subway and I walk up to the sidewalk and someone bumps into me. And now I'm mad at that guy for the guy that was standing too close to me on the subway, because I'm already mad and my mind's already talking to me and it's already crazy. And then I get home and my wife says, "How was your day?" And I say, "Why are you asking me that? It was fine. What, do you think there's something wrong with me?" And all she was saying is, "How are you doing?" But my mind is so ratty and mad because the guy that stood too close to me on the subway and it talked to me about that. And on the way home, it ruined my whole life. Just my mind. Just this talking, self-talking, opinionated, unsatisfiable mind. And that's what alcoholism looks like in my life, sober. And that's what needs to be treated. So the 12 steps are a way of life. And in the first step, I get to admit complete defeat. Not alcohol defeat, complete defeat. But not complete defeat at doing things on the outside, because I can drive my car, I can get on the tube, I can get to work, I can do those things. But I'm a complete defeat at doing those things and being okay on the inside. I'm a complete defeat at being at peace in the moment I'm in. My devastating weakness, it says any alcoholic, I'll just read it, because if I say it, I'll make it up. It says, "We know, or I know, from my experience, that little good can come to any alcoholic who joins AA unless I first accept my devastating weakness and all of its consequences." My devastating weakness isn't that I drank too much and did stupid things, because if I wasn't drinking, I wouldn't be doing those stupid things when I was drinking. My devastating weakness is my mind and the way it talks to me and the power that it has over me and how I know I shouldn't be doing something. And I'm telling myself, don't say that. Don't say that to your boss. Don't tell him he doesn't know what he's doing. Inside, I'm talking to myself saying, don't say it. And my disease is saying, you have to tell this guy what an idiot he is, even if he's your boss. And I'm saying, no, don't do it, don't do it. And as I'm saying that inside, it's coming out of my mouth that you're an idiot. And I'm ruining my life. And I have no power to not do that. That is the power that I lack. I lack the power to not do what my mind says to do, which includes alcohol often. You know, I mean, it never, ever, there's nothing so bad in my life that a drink wouldn't make it worse. Nothing. But my mind still tells me, oh, your wife's not acting right, you should have a drink. You should just have a drink. You should be able to burn off some steam here. You should just have a drink. Now, for me to have a drink means total disaster in my life. But my mind still tells me that's a good idea, and a lot of people follow it. They follow it. So my devastating weakness is my mind and the way that it talks to me and the lack of power that I have to not do what my mind says to do. And so I'm going to have to come to find a power in AA that could restore me to sanity, because on my own I have an unsound mind. I'm not crazy. I might be. I might be, because you see crazy people walking around the street, they're talking to themselves, and you go, oh, that guy's probably crazy. He's walking around talking to himself. I do the same thing. I just don't do it out loud. I'm walking around town talking to myself, and I'm saying the same crazy stuff that crazy guy's saying out loud. I just don't do it out loud yet. I'm thinking, why are they painting that house that color in my neighborhood? That's the worst color I ever saw. It's on my street. I hate those people. I don't even know them. And I don't know why that color bothers me, but my mind told me that that color bothers me. And so now I'm crazy. Every time I go down my street, I'm the crazy man talking to myself about a house. And it drives me mad. And then when I get home, I'm in a bad mood, and I treat my family badly because somebody painted their house a color that I have a story about. And I believe my stories. I believe whatever my mind tells me, I believe it. It says, until I so humble myself, my sobriety, if any, will be precarious. Of real happiness, I'll find none at all. So until I know what alcoholism is, this devastating weakness in my mind, this grave emotional and mental disorders in my mind that has nothing to do with alcohol except that alcohol is the best treatment for what's wrong with me. Until I accept that, my sobriety will be precarious, and of true happiness I'll find none at all. None. I might get some happiness because I got a paycheck, or I got a new car, or I got a new girlfriend, or I got a new house. I'll get some temporary happiness from that, but because I have an unsatisfiable mind, it will not be very long before my mind starts finding fault with the new car, the new paycheck, the new girlfriend, the new house, and it starts finding fault with it, and then eventually that thing that I thought was so good becomes an intense source of pain for me. And again, I'm back in that place of going, wow, I bought a new car. My mind told me that new car would make me happy. My mind told me over and over and over every day until I bought that car that the new car would make me happy. And then the day after I bought that new car, my same mind and my same voice says, oh my God, you have a huge car payment now. That's so stupid. Why are you so stupid? Why did you buy that car? The same mind and the same voice turns on me. So that's a little bit of what my alcoholism looks like. I hope you don't have what I have. I hope you just have a drinking problem and you get to stop drinking. Your life turns around. I When talking about the disease, it all seems doom and gloom, but there is a program of recovery, and there's a second step. And the second step says that I'm going to come to believe that there's a power that's greater than me, and that power is the power that's going to restore me to sanity. So I'm going to come to find something here. I'm going to come to find a power greater than myself, a new place, a new thing to talk to in my mind that's not self. It's a power greater than self, and that power is going to be the power that restores me to sanity. That power makes it possible for me to be on the subway and not find fault with the people around me. That power is going to be the power that's going to restore me to sanity when it comes to the kind of husband I am to my wife, the kind of man that I am in the day that I'm in. And finding this power, coming to believe, is not something that happens by accident, and it's not something that happens in time, and it's not something that happens because you didn't drink today. It happens because I make a decision to start practicing a relationship with a higher power right here, right now, in this moment. And it sounds like this: power, could you be with me? Could you help me? Could you protect me from my mind? Could you help me be the man you want me to be today? And something happens when I do that. And you're going to have to find out what that something is for yourself, because I could tell you, I could talk to you about how great this power is and how it works in my life, but it's not going to do you one bit of good. Every single person in AA has to come to believe themselves by practicing something themselves so that they have their own coming to believe. You can't have mine. I wish you could. I'd give it to you in a minute. But you're going to have your own coming to believe. And it's not in a power. You're not coming to believe in a power. You're coming to believe that a power could restore you to sanity, and that power is greater than you. And it's your own conception of your own power that you start sharing your life with. And then the recovery starts. But it doesn't start if I still think I'm the power for my life. If I still think I can manage my life, there's no room for a new higher power. So I have to accept my devastating weakness and all of its consequences. All of its consequences is that I can't have a true relationship with another human being. I can be nice to people so long as they're giving me back what I want, but a true relationship, a true partnership with another human being is impossible. Anyway, that's enough out of me. I can't wait to hear you guys. If you want to talk about the first step about coming to believe, about admitting you're powerless over alcohol, and you want to talk about the difference between your outside life and your inside life in step one, that'd be awesome. If you want to ask a question, you can ask a question. And thank you for letting me share. I can't wait to hear from you all.
going to have time for sharing.